Good evening, and welcome to United Real Therapy, people. Therapy Army, where are ya? Hey, where are ya? Hey, let's be having ya. Wherever you are, let's be having ya. Come on now, let's be having ya. Fred will tear you apart again. Yo, Alicia's got that new Christmas look. Check Alicia Sincanova out, eh? The photo looks Christmas, eh? Christmas photo. We're loving it. We're loving it. Good evening, Tom, she says. Big up Alicia Sincanova, who's actually Brian from Stoke. Big up Alicia. Big up Sister Yorkshire. Love always. Yes, there we go. It's a Yorkshire. It's a Yorkshire Army. Hey, listen, big up to everybody. Big up to Khalees, Chief United Real Therapy Editor, reporter. Big up. Oh, we've not seen my lad, Mr. Pandy, in a while. Hey, where are you, Pandy? Let's be having you, lad. Let's be having you. Mr. Proctor, love your Simmer Frame FC on the hot dog stand fan cam on the other night. Fred will tear you apart again. There you go. We got Aaron Pandy. Aaron Pandy, did you go home for Christmas? Let us know if you've gone home for Christmas. Listen, we've got a show for you tonight. We've got a bit of a jam-packed show for you tonight. So we're going to go early. We're going to wish everybody a Happy New Year, because obviously tomorrow's New Year's Eve. So Happy New Year to all, and I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas. So big up to the massive. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Jam-packed show for you tonight. Jam-packed show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about lots of issues concerning Man United. And not more than anywhere to start with the big news that Cristiano Ronaldo is signed for Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. I mean, a man practically a billionaire. And the question is to you, Therapy Armies. You can't take the billion with you to the grave, mate. You can't take it with you. To me, I think he should have gone back to Sporting Lisbon. He should have maybe got paid maybe 20 or 30 grand a week, whatever. Donate that to charity and play for free. Give something back to the club that gave him the break, the start. Give something back in the last 2 years of his football. That's what I would have done instead of getting paid some ridiculous amount of money in an Al Nassr. That's what I would have done. But you know what? That's my opinion. Everybody's opinion is valid. And big up, Tom. Merry Crimbo, Tom. I hope you had a good one. I think we did a show, didn't we, after Christmas? So big up. I'll start with you, Tom. Would you go along with me, or was that money too much to turn down for anybody?
I mean, people will think this is weird what I'm going to say. I don't think it's as much about money as people make out. I know obviously it's like 200 million euros a season. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But I think in terms of his brand and the commercials that he would get from the Middle East, I think it's 50-50. I think it's about the money, but I think it's also about getting his name out there more than he has to do. Because we know where the money men are in the world at the moment. They're in the Middle East, are they not? So any sponsors that he wants to get towards his brand, advertisement, things like that, these sporting agencies that are in Saudi Arabia will look at it and think, Cristiano Ronaldo's a good sponsor. Like we've heard about, obviously, the visit Saudi, whatever it is, deal that Richard Arnold's ballsed up anyway to get a new sponsor into Manchester United. Something like that could be aimed towards Cristiano Ronaldo because his brand is known worldwide, just like Manchester United is. He's a personality. He's I don't even call him a celebrity. I'd say he's more of an executive celebrity. But no, I mean, so, like what you said, Nuruddin, if he did something like he gave some of his wages to a cause or gave it to something, that 200 million, give it to charity, give it to a youth, club or something in Portugal, give it back to something that, made you effectively. There'll be like a youth club that he played for in Portugal or something, or wherever, even if it doesn't go to Sporting Lisbon. Like give back to something to the grassroots that created you to go on and have the platform that you've had and live the life that you do. That's what I think you should do anyway.
Okay. Big up to Bumbaye. Talk to me.
Easy now, people. I think Ronnie's the Don, and I think he's got nothing to prove. And who's to say Ronnie is not doing great things, giving back with the money, you know? The best type of charity is that which is anonymous. From my point of view and in my philosophy of life, you know, just give and don't make a song and dance about it. The man upstairs, he sees everything. So who's to say what Ronnie's doing with his dough? And what's Ronaldo got to prove? He's going to be 38. He's achieved everything he could possibly dream of achieving at club level and international level. And people are quick to forget what this man has done for football, man. He's one of the greatest players in the history of football. And the guy has been offered a contract to go put his feet up, earn super wages. There's no contract in football ever been given like this, I don't think. If I was him, forget this media, forget all this bullshit. People, everything Ronaldo does at the moment is in the negative. Go to Saudi Arabia, man. Enjoy the food, enjoy different culture, enjoy a easy time of football, and just bank, man. Make bank and relax. It's a lovely ending to a phenomenal career. That's my take on it. Very simple.
Okay. Well, take your pick, people. But yeah, total salary will be big up Khalid from Marine Lassie. Total salary will be close to 200 million per year. But this includes commercial deals, and it's the biggest salary ever in football.
Do you know what? If he had turned that down to go and score a couple of more Champions League goals, I'd have had him shot on general principle. That's the choice of a Nimrod, man. You go and you take that dough and you just enjoy your life. You know what I mean? You've done everything you want to do. People go to America, 2-3 years ago to earn a fraction of that, what's still considered big. This guy is going to go and enjoy a nice time over there.
There you go, Claire.
It's the right choice.
Big up our Claire. 40 what in Champions League.
Where?
Well,
Where was that? Do you know what's funny? Where's all these clubs, Cristiano? Where's all these offers, Piers? Get Piers on the blower now. Get him on the hotline. Where was the Arsenal offer? Where's Zayn Yassi as well? Come on, Zayn. You didn't rock up the books for him, did you?
No, it didn't. But instead, it was good to give us a hard time. Listen, Ronnie's one of the greatest, go down with one of the greatest footballers ever. For me, I just think there's something more tangible than money. Money you can't take it with you. And it's not like his children are starving. It's not like his family don't have enough, you know what I mean? Like, three generation of Ronaldos are going to be fine. His kids are going to be fine. So for me, I would have just gone back to Sporting, the club that gave me a chance and developed me. And that's what I would have done. I would have scored more goals for them. The standard it's not Portuguese league. It's not as high as the Premier League. I'm sure it will make chances for him. Everybody will there. His mum loves that club. His mum comes to watch the Sporting all the time. She's in a director's box. And his mum wanted that. His mum was like, I want him to come back and I want him to come and play at the end of his career for Sporting Lisbon. So that's where I stand. But at the end of the day, it's his own man. He does what he does. But listen, coming up for you in the show today, people, coming up for you in the show today is we're going to be looking at, obviously we're going to be previewing the Man United, eh? Man United, you know what I mean? This is Man United. We're going to be previewing Wolverhampton versus Man United. We're also going to be paying tribute and to the king of football. Pay tribute to Pele. Pele, as the people say. Pele.
Hooray, man.
And obviously, great innings, 82. Not many people go to live 82. And not many people have ever walked in his shoes. One of the most known footballers, sports people, full stop, in the world. It's not just football. He transcended football. But we're going to be paying a tribute to him. We're also going to be saying that we're happy that Delot's back in training. Alicia's back from Argentina. Can we beat Wolves? The stadium is falling to pieces. You know what I mean? And we're also going to be talking about this so-called failed sponsorship with Saudi. This is Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, the Saudi Tourism Board.
Tourism Board. that failed. So we're going to be talking about that. But hey, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Big up Lilas. Big up Arun. Big up Alicia. Big up the masses, man. Big up every one of you people. I always said Ronaldo would follow the money. There you go. Blood establishment. There you go. He knew. Follow the money. Follow the money. Money, 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 money. Yeah, all about the Benjamins, for him. Also, RIP Pele, one of the greatest. Yeah, 100%. One of the greatest, yeah. One of the greatest. I think he's, for me, the greatest. That's me personally. Everybody is all in the eye of the beholder. I never saw him play, but I've seen the footage back. And I can honestly say he played on horrendous pitches. He played where people could literally tackle you in chest height, head height. You would get things on your neck, on your like on your head. That's what you would get.
It brutal.
At times, you was brutal. They had the worst pitches, the worst ball, and the worst boots. And he did every skill your favorite footballers did 30 years later. He was doing it. He did the Cruyff thing 20 years before Cruyff did it. So these are the things about what Pele was for me. In terms of who he was. Politically, did he contribute to the society of Brazil? Did he contribute to the world? Visibly, for being the king of football, yeah, in the 1950s, for a black person to be recognized as this, 60s, could be. But did he do much? No. He knew how to play the game. Pele is the ultimate corporate footballer, the first ever corporate footballer. He realized that he didn't want to rock the boat. He didn't want to get involved in any politics or even anything about to do with his skin color. Even when the dictatorship took over Brazil, there was a coup. There was a dictatorship, and he didn't say nothing about it. Nothing about it. And later on in 1970, he was seen talking to one of the people from the dictatorship who was killing and murdering people and disappearing in people in Brazil. I've been to Brazil twice. I've seen it in my own eyes. Brazil, more slaves were taken to Brazil than 10 times more than to the Caribbean and to the US. And this is what you have to recognize. So there's about nearly 80 million Afro-Brazilians. And the way the Portuguese lied to them, and how when they realized that the Portuguese who colonized that country realized that, oh, damn, we're going to have an African country in Latin America. They went and basically invited everybody from around the world to come to Brazil. And then all those people were given the lands. All those people were given the jobs. So the slaves were just left. They were like, you're free now, go. And the favelas, all the favelas you hear about it, they're all in like the mountains in every city in Brazil. And that's where people built homes for each other. And he's from a shanty town. If you know what I mean, that's a little hook town, So Pele, in terms of the social conscience, what he did, no, he's no Muhammad Ali, far from it. But in terms of pure ability, genius level ability on the ball, what he could do on the worst pitches against the worst violent defenders and midfield players, and with the worst boots on the worst ball, I'm sorry, that was a genius. Same as Garrincha. Garrincha for me. Garrincha is one of the greatest as well. One of the greatest. I know many people talk about it, but just to give you a bit of reference, in 8 years, Brazil did not lose. When Garrincha and Pele were on the pitch, Brazil never lost. Never lost a football game. So that just tells you the chemistry between them and how good was Garrincha as well. But yeah, that's my 2 pence. Bumbaye, pay your tribute to big up Mundo. Welcome, Mundo. Pele? Have you seen the little video where he's doing all of the skills that everybody goes crazy about?
I've seen a lot of Pele playing football. I've seen a lot of the documentaries. He's, do you know what? I don't know the greatest player ever, but there is, a special ceiling where certain players are only allowed in. He's there. He's the original, an amazing player, genius level stuff. Like you say, in those days as well, they were playing, they had to ride a lot of challenges. Football was different quality of pitches, balls and stuff. But if anybody has a chance, just, go and have a look what he's doing. He's way ahead of his time, and he's a great player. May he rest in peace, man.
Yeah. Big up Saint Miassi says R.I.P. Pele, the greatest. Big up everybody. Hold those Ten Hag quotes back a little bit. We're gonna come into that when we do the preview. Can you turn me off? Turn me off.
Oh yeah, whoops.
Yeah, big up Irfan. Everybody welcome. Saint Miassi says there is a quote saying Pele out of all the London side, Arsenal. He would have out the London. I told you anything to attach Arsenal.
Nah, man.
Anything to attach
Pele doesn't get into the Arsenal team. They got Saka and Martinelli, man. He doesn't get in.
Yes, let me say this, right? There is a quote saying Pele out of all the London sides, Arsenal, he would have played for. We would have gone from the Invisibles to the Galacticos of the universe. There you go. Big up Saint Miassi. I think everybody could have claimed that. Big up Irfan and big up Mundo. I hope you're good. How the rascals? How the kids, Mundo? They good?
Yeah, they're good. They're good. Well, just in response to Zane, the only use Pele would have for Arsenal is giving him some of those pills that he's been promoting. Yeah, because they always go limp in the second half of the season. They need a bit of help.
Fair dues to him, though. If we're going to say anything, let's face it. Arsenal are the Brazilian club of England. They've got the big support, they've got the backroom staff, they've got all the people. So we let him have his day today. We let him have his Brazil moment. Let's be honest, they are the Brazilian club of England in many ways, just because of the backroom staff and who they got. Martinelli, and all those players, Gabriel. So, we'll give him a free pass on this one. We'll give him a free pass.
We've got more Brazilians in our team. No, have they got?
No. It's like I'm just saying. When I used to run the Brazilian night in Covent Garden. I used to talk to a lot of Brazilians. I used to talk to a lot. And I know, like, obviously, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 50, 60-year-olds, because we used to have the greats from Brazil used to come fly over to play in London in Covent Garden. And when he used to talk about football, it was Arsenal. It was always Arsenal. All he talks about was Arsenal. And, like I said, you can buy the national dish of Brazil, feijoada. You can buy it on Tottenham Court Road. You could buy it in the centre of London. You could get it in North London. You could get it everywhere. So, there is a link there. That's the club they warmed to being in London was Arsenal. That's just you must see it, though. Yeah, you must see it yourself.
Well, that's good. That's because Pele didn't try the Lumacari 50, man. That's why it is.
Yeah, listen. Big up to everyone who please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that notification button because it lets you know we're live. Therapy Army, let's be having ya. Hey, we're nearly 2022. One more day to go and it's over. Hellish year it's been. What a hellish year it's been for Man United. But quickly, I go to Mundo. Mundo, what Pele? Obviously, neither of us ever got to see him, but we've seen the tapes, we've seen the clips. What significance? Is he the greatest for you? Is he one of the greatest? Where does he stand? Knowing that the football boots, the pitches, the rough defending, all of those things. And by the way, Pele wasn't that big. He was 5'8". 5'8".
The thing is, like, I don't really buy into this whole the greatest ever because, you can't compare people across different eras, different style of football, different conditions, all of these things. But he's definitely up there. He's the original OG, isn't he? He's like, he was the, when we think about Brazil and the flair and everything else, like Pele was the poster boy, wasn't he? And he was doing things back then that players nowadays, even today, with all the technology and all the way the game's advanced, some players still can't even touch Pele. So he's up there. The debate was always Pele, Maradona. In our era, anyway, our generation is always who's the greatest, Pele, Maradona. Obviously now the new generation, it's all Ronaldo and Messi, isn't it? Ronaldo, Messi. But for us growing up, it's always Pele and Maradona. And I always fell in the camp of the Pele. I know a lot of people liked Maradona, but I just liked Pele. I just liked the way he played, the skills. People try to break his legs. I mean, people try to break Maradona's legs as well, but Pele was just unbelievable. The original number 9 for Brazil. And the thing is, even today, people talk about this guy. Even today, even generations that are younger than us talk about Pele. So he was a big figure in the game. But
yeah, icon. To me, it's not even about football. He's a sporting icon. The biggest thing for me about Pele is that, and I'll bring Irfan as well in a minute, but the biggest thing for me was that he was the complete footballer. Like he could play anywhere across the midfield, like centre midfield, because he was quicker than everybody. He could bully people at the ball. He had the most incredible close control. He could skip past, can do all of the skills. You know what? You know the skill not touching the ball. He was doing that in the 1950s. Like literally placing the ball and doing that, and then defenders jumping everywhere. He could have played, obviously, number 10. He invented the number 10. To me, there's no Brazil without Brazil never won the World Cup without him, before Pele. There is no global superstars. But in terms of when you talk about Maradona, I love Maradona. I love Maradona's politics. I love Maradona, the person. Maradona is that guy that you just can't, you cannot love him. You can't hate Maradona. To me, it's impossible to hate Maradona because Maradona showed the vulnerability, the flawedness in a genius and everything that he was. So in terms of politics, I love that Diego never went to the US. I love that he went to Cuba and he's got tattoos of Che Guevara and Fidel Castro. I love that fact. He said no. Pele, in terms of ability in football, he is incredible in terms of like left foot. He took free kicks with his left foot, 30 yards out. He did what Roberto Carlos did. There's a video of him scoring a goal like Roberto Carlos from 35 yards out. The ball is going out and it comes back in. And it's mad when you see it. He hits that shot and he goes right next to the post. You see him flicking the ball out of him. So he could play left foot, right foot. He could head. For 5'8" guy, he could head, leap up, and his headers were powerful. He could chest that, he can control. He could do everything. Play back to goal. Play facing you up. Maradona, to me, the greatest left-footed player I've ever seen. The ball is like a string, like a literal string on that. And he could do such incredible things. I mean, juggling, like little as, those bouncy balls. He could juggle a bouncy ball. But to me, as a kid, I loved Pele. When I understood how the world is, I loved Maradona in terms of Maradona, the person, who he was as a character. That's what I fell in love with because I fell in love that he said, nah. The amount of offers Maradona got to go to the US and to be this corporate guy, nah. He said, nah. And Maradona felt like he was the people. He was with the people. He knew where he came from. While Pele, corporate, never said a word against the dictatorship, never said a word to the plight of the black Brazilians or black people at that time in the world, never said a word, knew how to keep his mouth shut. Now, some people would argue and say, and I'll bring Irfan to this, some people would say, well, he couldn't say anything and you can't expect every black person to be fighting racism or to be fighting against the military in Brazil. He shouldn't. He did it with his visibility. Some can argue that. But for me, Diego Maradona did. Diego Maradona came out against the Iraq war. Diego Maradona was against all imperialism and about war and these things. He was against those things. He didn't. Diego Maradona loved Palestine, went to Palestine loads of times. Like, Diego Maradona had this justice and understood the world, what these governments are doing, manipulating people. That's different. But Irfan, come on in. Obviously, Irfan, that those of you don't know, collecting records from 16, fell in love with Brazilian music, but world music in general. Had a night, that's where we met him actually, me and Bumbaye. At 17, we met Irfan. Look, we were just walking past this club and we heard this music and we're like, what's going on here? We wanted to come and take a look and we were like, we're in Rio. Honestly, we walked in, like, in the club in the city, just in Oxford Road in the city, central Manchester, and we thought, where the hell are we gone? Where are we? Because the club is full of Brazilians and it's samba, is hearing all types of styles of different Brazilian music. So, obviously, how is our friend in Cambridge? Is he all right?
Franco.
You spoke to Franco.
No, I mean, me and Franco had a brief chat today. You know what, Nuruddin, we should have got him on the show today. We made a mistake.
Text him, send him the link.
Listen, he's an old man retirement these days. He's sleeping at this time. I mean, I'm not being funny, We could have done
We'll get him up.
a 1 hour special and got the information of a guy born in Rio in the 60s. Yeah, he watched Pele as a young boy, and obviously, Franco's one of the biggest supporters of Flamengo ever. Franco spent half his life at the Maracanã. He's a football nut. So I've been getting it from about Pele since I met him in the late 80s, so I've had it for like almost 35, 40 years of Franco. And we got into it today, but then I think his daughter called him because his daughter's studying at Man Utd University, so he had to get off. But we got into the chat about it, and the difficulty with this one is, I call him the GOAT because to me he's the first GOAT. Even when you think of the GOAT, he is the first one. Let's be honest. You've got people like Eusebio, all those other guys.
Listen, if you erase Pele out of football is not the same as it is now. I'm telling you.
Oh no, because
especially
but as Mundo said though, generation by generation, there's game changing. I mean, look, when I started watching football as a 5-year-old, it was people talk about Cruyff, people talk about Holland, the Holland team and Argentina of '78, the final. I remember my teachers talking to me about that game, and you used to see it on TV, but that's when that was like the late '70s, but. Pele was always a shadow. When I was playing football as a kid for my school and playing Sundays and all the group matches we used to play against other neighborhoods, Pele was always the first guy. Everyone used to talk about Pele. And obviously... Sorry? Yeah, no, I was just saying that. So when you're growing up as a kid and, when you talk about history of like who's the greatest footballer ever, it was just rammed down my throat that it was Pele, Pele, Pele. But I didn't really realize why it was Pele till I met Franco and then started looking at Brazilian football. Because obviously, I told you, I've said it many times before, 82 is my favorite World Cup. That's when I last saw the Brazil of Pele and the world of Pele, where it's entertainment and football skills and technical excellence, not really much defending, but serious level of attack football entertainment. Like, you watching Brazil play, you think you're in carnival in Rio, or Brazil, you think you're in a carnival. The drums everywhere. So it's funny that I forgot that I met you guys there. It was mad, that party, because how Brazilian it was. We used to get.
What was the party called?
It was called Balanço. Balanço, and Balanço meaning, we actually used to call it Balanço, Club Sounds of Brazil. But Balanço is a Portuguese word and it means swing. And the reason Brazilian music is so special is the way the music swings. Jazz has got a swing. Every music's got a swing. To me, the swing of swings in all music, if you study music, is samba. Because when you play the samba percussion, you play the instrument, you can't just play it like it on the beat. It's a slightly lazy music, and the way it grooves is when I used to see it, I used to think, "Why this music is incredible?" But I realized how African it was when I studied it. It's so African, and obviously the little bit of European that they brought with the little guitars, the cavaquinhos, to make it quite special. So when you met me, we had the most. Probably, I think it's one of the greatest parties for Brazilian music that's ever existed in the country. Because I mean, this is how mad. One story which is mad. Before I get into the Pele, we used to get the girls from it was strippers in Chinatown. The Brazilian girls would come in the club, put their bags down, get out of their gear, and start getting a club and start dancing samba in the middle of the club with the Brazilian guys. And there would be a guy playing percussion in the corner. It was mad. It was absolutely mad, and they were crazy about football because. Every year, every time the World Cup was on, we would host Brazil in Manchester, so all the Brazilians could watch the game with us, and they'd all come with their shirts on. So we every year we watched it. With R9 was playing, even when Romario and Bebeto were playing. We used to host the matches. So I'd play the music before the games. Me and Franco would, and then obviously we'd show the games on the big screen. So I've had Pele in my ear all my life, and since he's died, I've been looking at him, obviously, because I've been showing the goals. And it's mad to think that he was doing it in the 50s. It's crazy to think he was doing it in the 50s. I mean, 58 was his first one. And I've been looking at his skills. And he does. You mentioned Garrincha. He does remind me of Garrincha. But Brazilian friends just say to me, the thing about Garrincha would like take you on once. And as a laugh, he'd come back and take you on again and then a third time before he scored. That's what Garrincha was known for. And, he was that bow-legged, very unusual guy. But these guys... The way they used to glide past players was incredible. The whole Brazilian music and dancing, which is the way they play the football, not now, but Brazil for like 30, 40 years was dancing and playing football. It's ironic that Me and people like Roy Keane were kicking him off for dancing. And then I felt like saying, you don't obviously know anything about Brazilian culture. You know nothing about him to say that. But when you watch Pele, it's just pure entertainment, magical touch, left, right, thinking on players, nutmegs, everything, dropping the shoulder, what they call it in Brazil, they call it the jinga. When you drop the shoulder and you look in one way and you go the other way. When you look one way and you pass the other way, that's all Brazilian, because the dance is like that. If you watch samba, the samba dance is completely linked to the way they play football, and they call it the jinga. You got the jinga. So it doesn't surprise me at all. I just wish that we'd seen Pele in an age where you had 1,000 cameras, you had amazing analysis like you have now, and it was that type of game. But sadly, like I said, my only gripe about the World Cup this year was I don't think it's offensive enough for me. I wish it was more offensive, but you've mentioned it before already many times when my older friends say to me, football died in '82 because the attacking way of Brazil running the show had died because Italy beat them, and it highlighted their weakness in defense. So that's the last time. It's shame, but going back to Pele, I mean, the goal record itself, I mean, obviously they've counted unofficial matches, but this guy's absolutely unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. And we can't quantify how unbelievable this guy is because it's from an era before the analysis and the cameras and the professionalism on this level. It's just a shame we just can't.
Yeah, he was good enough to play for 20 years.
Yeah, but Nuruddin, that's why when I met Franco, all he would talk about is Pele. Every time, even in the 25 years I've known him, anytime he comes up, he'd always say, "Well, he's not good at Pele," and I'm like, "Yeah, all right, Franco. Yeah, all right, fair enough, we get that." But because one thing I respect about Franco, he's watched football from the 70s onwards. I mean, literally from like 72, 73, he's watched it hard. Because one thing I liked about Franco, he'd always try to break down the game in terms of tactics. When I didn't even looking at what formation was, and he'd always talk to me formation. It was like Chinese to me. I was like, "What's he talking about?" And this is when I was very young, but I learned a lot from him. And even now, he analyzes. So the thing that amazed me though is, we used to host the actual Brazil World Cup matches in Manchester. The women would come. And I was astounded how much the women of Brazil knew about football. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, they know more than us. It's so deep, the level, and it shows you what we don't understand in England. We don't understand how much football is a religion in Brazil. We just don't understand. We don't understand. I've never met a country like it where they love football on that level. It shocked me.
And you know what? A lot of that to do is Pele, fan.
Yeah, it was. But you said, like you said, so.
Listen, that's the crazy story. I'll just read the super chat in a minute, and then we'll go to the preview of Wolves tomorrow, 12:30, Man United. Big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit that notification button. Lets you know we're live, right? Big up Sammy as the Air fan. Don't forget, we got Bellingham coming back. He's already top scorer in the French league with 10 goals. Don't forget Gilbert.
Balogun.
Okay, Balogun. Right.
I don't. You know this guy is. I don't know who this guy is. You know this guy is.
Yeah, he's a youth player. Remember that Maradona never criticized the Argentina military in his country, though. You know what? He didn't do that, but he did. When he could, from a safe distance, when they were no longer there, he did criticize them. Yes, he did.
Pele played for New York Cosmos, remember? He played for New York Cosmos, remember?
Yeah, he went to America. Yeah,
that's like his retirement package money,
Yeah. He got paid. Actually, it was a record at that time. He got paid £1 million. £1 million at that time.
Guys, can I ask a question, right? How? Because Pele played his entire career over the New York Cosmos at Santos, right? Yeah. So how strong was the Brazilian league in the 50s and 60s? Because
he never played. Let me come in.
Let me just tell you this, right? Let me just give him the reason. The reason why he never left Santos in 1960, the Brazilian government made him a national treasure. I repeat for the people at the back. Pele in 1960, I think 61 or 62. Was made a national treasure, which means that he could never leave the country to go and play for Real Madrid or Benfica or play for any of the top European teams. He could never do that. He was forced to stay. He couldn't go anywhere and sign for any other club to go and play for any of them. Wrap your head around that. The government officially made him into law that he is a national treasure. He's not allowed to go and play in another country. So wrap your mind around that. when you think about that question? Go ahead, Bombay.
Yeah, no, what Mighty Mundo was saying is not wrong. Some people question that. So I went away and looked into it, and I looked into the 1,000 goals and all that stuff. One thing that they did do, Santos, they did go.
I don't know what happened to him there. Hopefully his battery died. He'll come back. But big up to every one of you. I think we'll let Bombay come back and then he can come and say that bit about Pele. But the thing about it is this, his greatest game, just to let people know, Pele's greatest club game was to play against Benfica in 1964 or 1960 something. So it's either, and it was the club world champion, right? To be the club world champion, right? I'll let you finish, Bombay. Go ahead.
Sorry about that, boys.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, Mundo makes a fair point, but Santos went everywhere and played all the best teams and whacked them up.
Everywhere. And this, he went and toured around the world.
They did. Yeah, they did. They went toured around the world. They played competitive games against the best teams of the day in the European leagues, all over the shop, and they whipped their asses. Because it was true.
Santos then were a good level, good team.
Yeah. So Santos won the league when Pele was playing for them, and then they won the Copa Libertadores, which is the equivalent to the Champions League in Latin America. Then they played the best team from Europe, which was Benfica, who were European champions at that time. So the first leg in Brazil, Santos win 3-2. They come back to Europe. It's the greatest club game Pele's ever played in. They come back to Europe. Pele makes them look like amateurs. This is what's the great Benfica. They were the best team in that time in the 60s in Europe. Nobody could come even close. They would beat teams. They were going to finals, right? Benfica slapped Real Madrid. Santos come. Pele comes. I think he scores 4 goals. And then the maddest thing is this. Brazil in 1966 are in the same group as Bulgaria. They're in the same group as Portugal. And I forgot who the other team was. Might be Hungary. Was it Hungary? All those 3 teams taking turns to absolutely kick him from pillar to post. So in 1966, Portugal, because Portugal obviously being the colonial power, were thinking, this Brazilian are beating us. Like this Brazilian, this black guy who was a slave is beating us. So in that, if you watch that, and if you go and find the footage of the Portugal versus Brazil game in 1966 in England, Bulgarians did the same. I think the Hungarians did the same. They absolutely kicked him every time he got the ball. Whack. And those days, it was hardly, there was no substitutions, so he didn't play and they weren't getting risk. And he had to go home, basically. He couldn't play in the World Cup. Same thing in 1962. In that World Cup, he scored in the first couple of rounds of games, got kicked again, got battered, and then he was out of the World Cup, but he won the World Cup. The Brazil did win the World Cup after that. 1970, he didn't even want to play after he got kicked around. He didn't want to play. He didn't want to play for Brazil. He was begged. Everybody was begging him to come back for 1970. And everybody was unsure till about a year out, and he was like, okay, I'll play. And that was to say goodbye to, basically. That was his way of saying goodbye. But anyway, let's get into it. That's Pele, people. Go and watch him. Go and watch.
No, what we'll do, Franco, what we'll do is just to finish it off. We'll get Franco on. We'll get him on so you can get a Brazilian take because it'd be good for the people to hear Brazilian perspective on this guy and why it's special. But we'll arrange that, Nuruddin. Yeah.
Let's get into it, people. Tomorrow at 12:30 is Wolverhampton, which are our bogey team. We've only won in the last since they've come back in the league. I think we've only won once in that stadium, and that was Mr. 11's was a robbery. Was just a grab. Smash and grab. He scored a goal. We won 1-0. We got absolutely dominated. They missed so many chances. That's our only win at the Molineux tomorrow. So just to say, they've got people returning in terms of the team news. So Wolverhampton have got Daniel Ponetz available after Wolves forward forced it off with a win over with a leg issue. Boubacar Touré and Johnny could both return following an injury. Manchester United captain Harry Maguire is in contention to start after making his comeback from illness against Nottingham Forest. Fellow centre-back Lazaro Martinez returns. We're so happy for him to come back. So it's going to be a very, very interesting. This is to give you the head-to-head. Wolves won their most recent Premier League meeting with Manchester United 1-0 at Old Trafford in January. This was last January. The last won consecutive league games against them between September 1979 and August 1980. So that's the last time they beat us twice. United could win 3 consecutive league visits to Melanie for the first time. Could win on 3 consecutive league visits. Wow. Okay. For the first time. So the Red Devils scored 9 goals against the Premier League encounters in 2011 and 2000, but they have netted just 9 in total of 11 matches between the two sides. So they were obviously defensive and they keep us out. So this is what it is. So they're looking to get their second win for the first time in March sequence to get their second win. They did a smash and grab job on Everton. They got a last minute winner. United could win 5 consecutive matches in our competition for the first time since April in 21. United have won 4 of their last 7 Premier League games, drawn 1, lost 2, scoring in each match. They have lost the previous 6 fixtures in a row on the road. So here we go, people. Here we go. Can we go and follow it up? I was there against Nottingham Forest. I thought it was the easiest game ever. It was one of the most games that I was relaxed. I was chilled. I didn't get any stress. As soon as that goal went in, boom. And unfortunately, Wolves are part of the relegation zone. They're in a relegation zone as we speak. If I'm looking at the table, they are right down there at the bottom. They're 18th. So it is a bit of a bogey ground for us. We're not really that great playing 12:30. I'll go to you, Mundo. How are you feeling about the game tomorrow?
I think that we can beat Wolves. I think that we're confident. Players, some key players are coming into form. I think Varane looked really good against Forest, even though he wasn't really tested, but he looked, even with Shaw next to him, it just goes to show his quality that you can put pretty much anyone next to him, probably other than Harry Maguire, and he can make them look better. But I'm worried if Maguire plays tomorrow. That's my concern. If he plays next to Varane, which is likely, I'm just worried about him playing in the back. But Casemiro's looking. Yeah, he looks good. Casemiro, Rashford's starting to find his form. I'm confident for tomorrow. Normally, I'm not confident going to Wolves, but they're not in great shape. Okay, they're going to get new manager bounce, but I think if we match
his
them,
first game at home, by the way, Locatelli's first game at home, just like it was.
But I always say this: if Manchester United, most teams in the league, if we match them for intensity, we beat them. Yeah, the thing that we always lack, the reason why we lose games is the lack of intensity. If we start, so it depends on how we start. If we get out of the blocks tomorrow and we play with the right intensity, I back my team. But if we don't, and they get off to a good start and we're hanging on and they're getting chances in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, it's going to be a long, long afternoon.
Exactly. How are you feeling? Let me just get this. Aaron Pundit said in 1964, he won the champions of the World Cup, i.e. you were Champions League winners against the South American Champions League winners of Europe. Santos faces Benfica, second leg. This was in Europe. It was in Benfica. Pele scored 5 goals in Lisbon in the second leg. I thought it was 4, but 5 goals. That just tells you this was the champions. This was the European, the best team in Europe at that time. And Pele scored 5 goals against them. That is what you call madness. That's that kind of person he was. Big up Khalid Ramadan Lassie. Irfan, how confident are you tomorrow of Molineux 12:30? We don't really do great.
Molineux, yeah.
Molineux, right? Molineux. Yeah. 12:30 kickoffs. Man United don't win that many games. They are a bogey team. It is Locatelli's first home game. He already won
it's Lopetegui, innit? When you say Locatelli, I'm thinking of an Italian player for some reason. Am I getting it wrong? It's Lopetegui. Lopetegui.
One day we hope we can play football together in the sky. Pele's message after Diego Maradona died. There you go.
There
Now
you
they're
go.
together. There you go. Go ahead.
That's a good way. It's a good way. I don't know. No, I'm with Mundo on this one, Nuruddin. Like, you know, when you mentioned it before about like Wolves and that. Do you remember the point a few years ago where they were firing it and it was very, very even to us? We had about 2 or 3 0-0s or something with them. I don't know if you remember. You know, it was very, very close games. And I always used to say to them that I think this team is on the same level of us. You couldn't really separate the teams. I can't remember this. Was this under Ollie or what? Who was the manager at the time? Was it under Ollie? Yeah, where we just kept having these 0-0s and we got them in the cup as well. We got them in the cup as well, didn't we? Yeah, I think we managed to beat them.
We kept drawing in the league.
Yeah, we kept rolling, but it was very, very close between us. They look. This is the first time I'd seen Wolves. I thought, shit, they're a serious team because I couldn't see any weaknesses. But that Wolves is finished. That Wolves is not there anymore. The fact that the main guy had that head injury. What's his name again?
Raul Jimenez.
Yeah, Raul Jimenez. Yeah, in fact, he had that head injury, and then obviously they lost the manager. Chori's been on and off. They've only got Neves. They lost a lot of the main guys in the back. Did they lose Connor Cody? Who did they lose? They lost quite a few guys. He's not the same team. They lost Saiz, the Moroccan guy as well. They lost a lot. So to me, I don't get the worry. Like, oh, you know when you say about this and that. I do understand what you're saying because you're nervous FC. You're damaged by United. I get that, but. What I'm saying is,
guys give this team too much credit, mate.
No, I don't. I'm with you. I'm with you. But I've watched the team get better to make me less nervous. I'm not like, at the start of the season, I'd be with you, Nuruddin. But I've seen subtle improvements every 5, 6, 7 games with this team. Okay. Every time we got a slap, I've seen them come back. I'm not saying
listen. When we're 3-0 down at halftime, I'll ring you.
Yeah, no, listen. Then more fool me. But I'm with Mundo. Like I said. I think we should beat these guys. I don't think if we beat them easily, but we should beat them. On form at the moment and the way we're rocking, I mean, I'd be even more confident if there was no World Cup and Martinez and Varane were on a roll. I'd be saying, listen, we're going to win this. I don't care what you say. We're going to win. But the fact that one's out, one's just coming back, like I said, we might lose. We might have to get, Maguire in defense, which worries me. But apart from that, with Rashford on form, with Martial sort of there and thereabouts, Casemiro looking on fire, Eriksen's decent, Rashford's on fire. We're a slightly more unformed team than they are. So we should win them. And we have confidence that we never had before because we're with the manager, we're getting more and more used to how he plays and what he takes and what he can't take. I don't think Ten Hag has done much wrong yet so far. So I don't go for this 12:30 crap. But if I was to listen to you from it, I'd say fair enough, Nurin. That's the only thing that you can say to me to convince me we're going to lose is the 12:30 kickoff. That's the only thing I could say because on paper we should beat this team. I don't see it any other way.
No, but football's not played on paper though, is it? But
Nuruddin, but come on.
Listen, did you think... all I know is that that's a hard ground for Man United to go. We've only won once in the last 2-3 years.
But Nuruddin, but this is not the 0-0. Those 0-0s we had on the olive, like the game. This is not.
Their attacking play, they've got the middleweight boxer who runs the 100 meters like it's not like in 10 seconds or whatever. Right?
Traore. You mean Traore?
Traore, he runs like that 10 seconds.
Zero end product.
See, that's what I'm saying. Look at what's come on, Nuruddin.
If you look at his crossing, people don't put the chances away.
Nuruddin, come on, Nuruddin.
Let me finish. His Premier League record for crossing and setting up chances is good as anybody's.
But wait a second. Yeah, but let me come back at you a second then. That guy, when it was 0-0, he was bending up everyone. Everyone was saying that, wow, how can this guy be so big yet be so athletic and so clever on the ball? But after that point, the guy just completely lost it. He completely lost it. All these big teams coming in for him. Didn't Barcelona come in for him and shit like that? He's died. His career sort of he's hit a brick wall and he's rebounded off it. This is not the same guy that was kicking ass 3 years ago. I don't know what's happened in his career. I don't know what's happened, but I think it's all psychological because he's not the same guy. And like I said, this is not the same the Wolves team that used to slap us and give us really good games.
I can say one thing.
There are some good players.
We're not going there with McTominay and Fred in midfield.
Yes.
Like we have been doing the last 3, 4, 5 years. We got
Nuruddin. So I'm
Okay.
with you. I understand your slight
Okay.
trepidation, but come on, man. We got to beat.
Okay.
We should beat these people.
Listen, all I'm saying is that expect the phone calls at halftime tomorrow.
Please, I'd gladly take it. I'll take the phone call.
We got Bumbaye. Like, I'll bring Bumbaye on to see what he thinks. If Pele was playing today, how much do you think he'd be worth? I think he will be
worth a lot, man. Be worth a lot. Be worth a
He'll be
lot.
worth a lot. Listen, Bumbaye, how confident are you about tomorrow's game? And let me just go to this important message, by the way. Jarvis Cocker, before you come in. Jarvis saying you don't understand politics. Maradona never supported a junta in Argentina who was supported by the CIA. Maradona was an enemy of Western imperialism, and he stood with the oppressed. Facts. But go ahead, Bumbaye.
Yeah, simple one, man. It's this isn't the Nuno Espirito Santo team. They used to be very solid at the back, awkward to play against, to break down. No more. They're 18th, we're 5th. We're right in the mix for a place in the top 4. So this is a game we need to go and win, and we should win.
See, there it is. You heard it.
Well, this is that simple. Pick up Jamie Carragher. Cristiano
Can I just say,
Ronaldo.
Nerdy, 1 second? Alicia's just mentioned, she said, you remember the Steve Bull days? I'm going to come back to her and say, I remember the Andy Gray days for Wolves. Now, that's
how old you are, mate. Andy Gray.
Honestly, I remember he played for them. She's talking about Steve Bull, which is like 10 years after or 15 years after. It's funny that you mentioned. Do you remember Steve Bull? Do you remember this guy, the striker he used to have?
Listen, pick up everybody. By the way, please smash a like on the video.
Yeah, he was. He got an England call up.
Already subscribe.
That
Let
was
me
before.
just David Carragher on Sky says Cristiano Ronaldo finished his career with an interview with Piers Morgan. Messi won the World Cup. I think that speaks for itself. It just shows how Pele was not snowflake, unlike the players of today. Not 100%. He definitely wasn't. He learned because he realized that people were hitting him. He could look after himself. So sometimes when the players were coming to try to like kick him and hit him, he used to give people elbows. There are some footage where Pele is kicking them back when they're kicking him. Big up. Bumbaye. All these 3 guys are confident. People therapy.
No. You're just more confident than you. We're more confident than you. There's a difference.
I'm not confident. I am not. The most worrying time for me is the first 20 minutes in that stadium. First 15, 20 minutes. If they score first,
you said that in the last game as well. You said that in the last game we played.
Yeah, of course I said, because that's the most important. If Man United do not get that goal in that first 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and if they then get the goal, the crowd is going to be up. The referee is going to be up. I'm telling you now, the bulldozer is going to bulldoze Casemiro and everybody else in that midfield. I'm telling you now. I am telling you now what the game pattern goes. If Manchester United, listen to me, let me finish. If Manchester United don't get that goal in the first 25 minutes, 20 minutes, and don't silence that Melanie crowd with that new kind of like new manager, fresh thing, if they don't do that, they don't silence them and get a goal, the more confident, the more the crowd is going to be in the game. And if they score, I still think it's very difficult for United to get back in games. Because we don't score enough goals. Please just be quiet 1 second. Let me just finish. I'm telling you this. Man United, for the amount of chances that we make, we don't score enough goals. Facts. Everybody knows that.
We haven't got a striker, mate. We haven't got a striker. That's why.
Look at the goal difference to everybody else.
Yeah, Nuruddin, I know, but we don't have a striker, Nuruddin. We are
miles behind in terms of goals. We create so many chances. Man United miss sitters. That's what we do. So I don't know where you guys get this confidence from, because we beating Nottingham Forest. All of a sudden, we are some amazing team. We're not. I'm sorry. We went there, got slapped up by Villa. We went there and got slapped up by Villa.
But Villa were better than them. Villa have got better players than Wolves.
I know, much better team, Nuruddin.
Nuruddin, you're saying... do you know...
Villa was so great. Villa was so great. Steven Gerrard got the sack.
Yeah, but Nuruddin, let's be honest. That was honestly, Nuruddin, they played out their skins against us. They've never played like that against since they battled us. You haven't Nuruddin. I've never seen them like that. Come on.
So listen, for the new manager, impress the new manager. You're saying that new managers come in, teams play out their skins.
Nuruddin, no, I would be normally again. I would agree with you normally. I would agree with you, but I don't see it with Lopetegui.
Tomorrow, listen to me. I'm happy to come in here after the game tomorrow and say, "Wow, I was bigging Wolves up too much. United, I've turned the corner."
No, look,
but to me,
I think
this is a banana skin, and our record there in recent years. The only win that I remember at that ground was Mr. 11 smash and grab, and that day they ripped us. David De Gea made save after save, and they should have won.
Take a breath. what you're saying applies with Man United across the board. Anytime Man United, you can tell in the first 5 minutes sometimes, right, we know we're not going to get a performance today. It's a slow burner. You can't have slow burners. As it stands now, Manchester United, in terms of what the aspirations are turning into, where we are in the league, the kind of football and certain improvements we're seeing, really, boys, we've got to go there and get 3 points. Anything less than that is not really what we're looking for here. And we should be getting... Listen, you've talked too much. Be quiet a minute. You should be getting 3 points. But for us to say what should be happening is not wrong. But what you're saying, man, is you're just describing how a game can go. But that can be any game. If United start slowly... So what you're saying is almost... Like, yeah, everybody knows that, bro. If United starts slow, and they do.
No, they don't.
That's any game. But Manchester United, Dino, we should be going there in the position we're in now and in the position there. And as Mundo said, they're not in great shape.
They're not in great shape. This is not close to the team under Nuno Espirito. This is a different team.
You underestimate new manager bounce. You underestimate that.
Look, all considered, 12-30 new manager bounce. You're, the speed demon bulldozer or whatever. Okay, great. You're 18th. You're conceding every single game goals. We're playing well. We're keeping clean sheets. We're 5th. You're 18th. When you look at it, you're thinking, if we're serious about going for top 4 now, with the way things are around us, boys, you have to go there and get 3 points. End of.
Exactly.
What you're saying, bro, is,
look at the game.
Yeah. Nobody's saying guaranteed, whatever, but that's what has to happen, bro. That's what should be happening, really. Unless we're going to have another, this is a process, it's a bad day at the office. Okay, we'll accept that. But really, you need to be going there and getting these points. And if you start slowly and if you're sluggish, then no team in the Premier League will be easy.
Wait, let me ask you a question. No, let me ask you a question to what after Bombay is what you just said. Tell me the last time you saw United looking really shaky. Thought, oh my God, we're back to nervous FC. Tell me the last time you saw it. Was it like City? What was that?
Villa. Villa 3 games.
Yeah, all right. So how many games ago was Villa? How many games ago was that?
2 games ago.
It was 2 games ago. But how long ago was it?
Well, the World Cup happened. So
so it's been 5, 6 weeks, 6 weeks.
No, but the world. Listen, no. You can't be clever. No, the World Cup happened. It would have continued if the World Cup didn't happen for a month.
No, that's still a problem. That's still a problem that exists at United. That's still something that we have to iron out.
Honestly, you guys are absolutely delusional. You can't use the World Cup.
Who's a better team, Fulham or Wolves? Who's a better team, Fulham or Wolves?
You can't use that as an excuse.
Fulham are a much better team than Wolves.
3 games ago. 2 games ago.
There are certain... Nuruddin, Dino, forget that thing, yeah. Look, there are still things that Nuruddin, there are still things in Man United.
1 minute, what was the game before Fulham?
Jesus Christ.
Villa.
Exactly, we got busted. We got embarrassed.
There are still things in this United team that have to be ironed out.
I'm sorry.
And they could rear their head.
By Villa, who were shite. The manager just got sacked, and they just had a new manager. It was his first game at home, and they came and showed us 3-1 easy. We couldn't even make any chances.
What's the scoreline? What's the scoreline?
3-1.
To who?
To Villa.
No, give me your scoreline for tomorrow.
If anything to go
go around in circles. What's the scoreline tomorrow? Give us that.
1-1.
1-1. Right, 1-1. Okay.
Get smashed. But let me
just 1-1. Okay.
1 minute. Big up Khalis Romelu Lassie says, so apparently Jadon Sancho is back and he's back in training and he will start individual training in Carrington. So that's the good news. Ten Hag asked about Lisandro Martinez. Ten Hag said if Lisandro Martinez is sober. I think so. I'm sure he is. So we'll see that. Big up Khalis Romelu Lassie said Ten Hag on strikers are expensive, especially in the winter. You have to set the limits high with what we're looking for. Maybe we have to be creative. Yeah, that means people. By the way, he came out with a quote the other day, Ten Hag, right? He came out with a quote, and it's the equivalent of Ferguson's quote. There's no value in the market. He says, for the financial criteria. That's Ten Hag's version of No value in the market. Fergie's no value in the market. And now he's talking about being creative. So people, I told you this months ago, get ready for Depay. Get ready for Depay. The return of Memphis Depay.
There's only two ways. There's only two ways we could look at this so far. Just looking at what you said. You know, I don't know what it's drinking a Kool-Aid thing. I don't know what it is. Obviously, we might be getting too giddy because, you know, if you look back and you say Arsenal was only a few games ago, but I don't see it as being that fragile.
Aston Villa, not
Aston Villa, sorry, Aston Villa. Yeah, that's what I mean. I just don't see us being that fragile anymore. I don't get those feelings. I would be normally with you. I'd be normally with you, but okay, listen, I'm not saying there's a chance we can lose. I'm not saying there isn't.
I'm not going to lie to you. If Nottingham Forest in the second half, they got into good positions. If they had world-class, finishers, they could have had chances. They made chances.
Oh, come on now. No, you're grasping now. You're grasping.
No, I'm not grasping.
You are grasping.
They did get in good position.
I'm asking you to go watch that game again.
Our foot was off the pedal. Our foot was off the gas.
In the second half, they got into it. But let me just get this. We do everything in our power to get that done, to get the right players who fit in the balance in the front lines. We don't need anything. We need a striker, man. What are you talking about, front lines? We need a striker. We need somebody who can play up front and hold the ball up for us.
Of course we need a striker, Nuruddin. Of course we do.
What is he talking about, front lines? What is he talking about? Listen,
Aaron
Bundy is saying it's a clear draw. Please let us know, people, what you think the score's going to be.
Wait a second, Nuruddin. But what you just said something, though. But look, what I'm saying to you is I'm not saying that you're massively wrong. I just don't share your lack of confidence towards United that I normally would do. I'd normally be with you. I'd be normally more pessimistic about United. I just don't see it in this game because it's not the same Wolves. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're amazing or anything. I'm just saying that is not the same Wolves. But, you know, we could be wrong. You might be right about the new manager bounce. Lopetegui, to me, is a strange one, though. He's a strange guy. You know, I don't know how that's going to work with him. I don't know. Like, they scored a last-minute winner in the last game.
Listen, big up Rio Matt. For me, Pele is overrated player. The player I've ever seen. My dad said he scored against Farmers. No problem, man. No problem.
And he's called Rio Mark, Exactly, I think he should change his name to something else. And if he's going to say about Pele, because Rio is a god in Rio.
Yeah. Big up Alicia. Listen, let us know what you think, guys. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let's ask them, what do you think?
Let's know what you think about the game tomorrow. Ronaldo joined the Saudi team for 170. Yeah, apparently it's going to be 200 million with sponsors as well. So it's going to be 200 million deal. For me, it's embarrassing. For me personally, it's embarrassing because he doesn't need it. He's a billionaire already. He doesn't need it. That's me personally. I don't think he needs it. Let us know what you think of the game tomorrow.
The end of his career has not been good, you know.
No, but for me, you can go back to Lisbon where it started and give something back to them. But that's the speed. But let us know where you think, guys. Maybe we should do the team. Let's pick the team, guys. Let's pick the team.
Well, let's see what they say. Give us your predictions, people. Give us your predictions, and then we'll pick the team as well. Give us your predictions. Look, bloody establishment's nailed it. 3-1, he's saying. I think that's how I feel tomorrow. Could be 3-1 to us as well.
I'm not sure, but I think they'll score just because I'm not. If Maguire plays, I'm going to go for 2-1. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Man U.
Okay, 2-1.
No, I'm going with 3-1. I'm going with 3-1.
Okay, Bumbaye, what do you think the score's going to be tomorrow?
Don't know. 4-0's coming into my head, man. I think we're going to have a party time tomorrow.
Wow. Okay.
It's the new year, man.
Expect that call from me.
It's you know what it is for Bumbaye. It's already New Year. You see, New Year's Eve's already happened. Can't you tell the optimism that is
exactly.
with it?
Mondo's known me since forever, and he knows that I go into most games. You know, in my own head, I just rarely can see. I just don't know how to see a Man United loss. So I'm not maybe the guy to listen to. Although I have gotten quite a few right this year.
Let's see. Let's ask the people. Let's ask the crew what they think as well. We've got 3-1 so far. I haven't seen many others. Give us your prediction. See what you think the score is going to be. Go. Let's go for the team as well, Nuruddin. Yeah. So we've got obviously got De Gea in there.
Listen, I think Lautaro Martinez is going to play. I think.
Do you think he's going to play?
Yeah, I think he's going to play.
Wow. When did he get back?
He got back the other day, but listen.
You want to pick a team that we think is going to play, or the team that we would like to play?
Yeah. Which one is it going to be?
The team that we would like to play. Martinez plays for me. Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Don't you think
Martinez,
the team that's going to play, not what team we'd like? Don't you think you should pick the team that he's going to pick?
No, but I personally think Martinez is going to play. But it's not giving me the options to play to make this. It's not giving me Martinez options. I don't know why.
Did you want to discuss something about the Glazers?
Yeah. We're going to come to that. We're just quickly picking the team. Something's wrong with the thing with the website, people. So
let's try and predict the starting 11 rather than put our own team out.
Okay.
Go on.
No, but it's not working. It's not even working. So I personally think I think Martinez and Varane are going to play. So De Gea is going to play Wan-Bissaka as a right back.
Hey, listen. Do you know what? Just the point here, Dino.
Luke Shaw as a left back. Let me just get this. Luke Shaw as a left back. Casemiro, Ericsson, Rashford on the left, Anthony on the right, Martial up front. Go ahead.
Just this point, boys. Is Diego Costa going to start? And you know what he's like. Is he going to try and get under the skin of Martinez? And is Martinez a hothead? Is that a consideration here somewhere? You know what he's like. He's Brazilian too, originally. And we've got a madman in Martinez. You've seen it. So that could be a little bit of a worry that he loses his shit.
Listen,
small worry, not big one. Small one.
Listen. I'm only saying this. Martinez starts any time over Maguire or Lindelof. Me personally, that's just me. Especially this game.
You've picked our desired team, not the team that you think Ten Hag.
No, but listen, that's his best team. That's who he picks. But go ahead, tell me what's your team.
My team is exactly what you've done. I'd go for that, but I don't know whether he's going to pick that. I can't see Martinez playing tomorrow, but you could be right. You know, maybe he's going to throw him in because he's not a sort of lethargic guy. He looks knackered or whatever. You know, he'll have a rest and maybe he'll throw him in. I think he might throw him in for one half, possibly. I don't know, but I'm with you on the team. That's the same team I'd pick. I do think he might pick the same team apart from the one centre back position. I think the rest of it you got right. What do you reckon, Mundo?
I agree. My only worry is that he plays Maguire ahead of Martinez, so Maguire next to Varane.
Do you know what? My heart already is pounding at the thought.
Yeah, he might do. He might do. But wait a second. Hang on. Maguire got how many minutes in the last game? Did he come on after 10 minutes ago? I can't remember how long it was. It wasn't long, was it?
Yeah, it was towards the end of the game, and he got ripped up, didn't he?
Yeah, he got ripped up. Yeah, he did.
He got ripped up by who was it? Who ripped him up now on the left? Oh, what was his name? Emmanuel Dennis. Emmanuel Dennis.
It don't matter his name. He got ripped up. Standard procedure.
Yeah, but the only thing with Casemiro was there to shut the door. So that's the thing.
Yeah,
we got Casemiro's like the firefighter, isn't he? But even so, the game will be won and lost in midfield tomorrow.
Casemiro is just on brilliant form. That's why maybe that's my confidence, because I just think he's on such good form at the moment. He's really got used to England now. Maybe that's where my cockiness is coming from, you know, where my confidence is coming from. I don't know.
Irfan doubting himself.
This is a good comment, Dino.
Yeah,
you've been a madman tonight.
Yeah. So look at this. See, Nuruddin, you were much calmer when you had family around. You see that, yeah?
Mundo, you took one of them pills, man.
Nuruddin, these people know you too well. You've been doing this show for this long. They know everything about you, how you think, what day of the week it is, what's going on.
Ain't even having a son tonight, man.
You know what? No. Stop the lying, man. Stop the lying. You've had your thing to say. Stop lying now. You just don't let me finish. You guys don't let me finish the point. I start to make the point, and then you all jump in. So just let me make the point, and I'm happy to talk to you guys. But honestly, I don't know where you guys got this confidence from. I'm dumbfounded. I am a bit.
No, you can't say that. We are just more confident. We don't have loads of confidence, but we have more confidence in you because you have zero confidence.
Listen, I agree. This at least some of the people in the comments agree with me. Nuruddin, he says, I agree with Mr. Sri, Mr. Structure. At the moment, United are not a team to have confidence with. And United did not a goal in the first 2 minutes against Forest. Yeah.
Don't know,
Honestly,
Wendy, you're a voice of reason, but I'm not with you this time, Wendy. You're a voice of reason, but I don't think so this time.
big up
Do you know
Windy.
tomorrow? Do you know tomorrow? If we start, everybody's seen it. Consistency is still that thing we're looking for. We're not the Man United like every week you're churning it out, but realistically, the way things are set up, where we are, where they are, the shape they're in, the shape we're in, the kind of improvements we've seen in terms of clean sheets, in terms of being resolute at the back, the fluidity of the play. You've got to go and win this game, really, guys, because you've got City and Arsenal coming up soon. So if I'm the manager, I'm looking at the ball and saying, boys, 3 points. This is what it is. They're 18th, man. We need to be going. Start quickly, get in there straight away. And as Finger Structure's saying, do you know what I mean? Impose yourself on the game. If you're going to go into this game dilly-dally and dick around, any game, Forest, Kidderminster, it don't matter. We've seen it before. You have to start fast. If you start slow, you can never seem to get into gear sometimes. We've seen that. And the game just passes us by. That can happen. Nobody's saying no. But what we're saying is, on the balance of the way this fixture is weighed up, 3 points, boys. 3 points. If you're serious about top four, this is a good opportunity for 3 points. So go and get them. That's where it's coming from.
And let's be honest, right? If we want to aspire to even be a top 4 team, never mind champions of the league, then
Got to win this game.
We've got to think to ourselves: City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham going to Wolves. In their minds, they'll be thinking we're going there to get 3 points, mate. They're not thinking we're going there, we're going to get turned over, a new manager bounce. No, they're thinking we're going there to win. In my mind, the way that I said it from the start of the season, the way I'm approaching it is the standards are on the floor. For me, in my mind, I'm putting the standards back where Man United standards should be. I expect my team to go to Wolves. They might not win. Yeah, football's football. But in my mind, the expectation is, we're talking about expectations here. My expectation is, I don't give a damn who the manager is. This is Wolves at 18th position in the league. We're a serious team now. We go to Wolves and we win. That's it, end of. Anything less is a disgrace. Even a draw's not acceptable for me. A win is a win. Because I'm seeing other teams going there and winning, mate. Liverpool win there, City win there, Tottenham win there. All these other teams win there.
Newcastle win there. You know, Newcastle.
Do you know why Mundo's right here? We spoke about Eric Ten Hag when he came in, and I said, listen, time is time, but do you know what? We've got some decent players there. There is an expectation that has to be in place, and he knows that more than anybody. And the players have to rise to that expectation. At a certain point, we have to start breaking down the mental barrier and being strong enough in our minds to think, you know what? We're rocking it here. We're going to go there for 3 points. You can't just, do you know what I mean? Bundle through a season thinking, yeah, it was good this week. Good. No, consistency comes also with a change in mentality. And this is why Ten Hag, what we're seeing, is very good. And the job that he's got to do, some people underplay how difficult it is. You're trying to rebuild an entire psychology and mental frame of going into every single game with that arrogance, with that swagger, with that confidence in each other as a team. Like, this is Wolves, mate. We're going for it. Do you know what I mean? We just put Forest to the sword. Should have been 5-6, busted them up. They had nothing, controlled the game as it should be, exactly as it should be. You need to go to Wolves again. We need the same. And the players need to be demanding that from themselves, because that's what they're going to have to do at a certain point.
Nerd, just one thing. Doesn't the 5th to 18th gap positions mean anything to you in this game?
No, I don't. Not in the Premier League. Not in the Premier League. Listen to me. Man United in the last couple of years have been beaten by relegation fodder. I was hell nervous going to that Forest game. And after the first goal went in, I was just like, breathe. 20-something minutes, 25 minutes, nearly 30 minutes it came. Big up saying me yesterday in the super chat. He says, Nurdin, Liverpool is only 1 point. Yeah, facts. That's fact. 1 point behind us. What are your thoughts on Saudi? We're going to come into that now. So basically, Man United were going to be sponsored by. Big up. There we go. Breaking news. Man United are in talks with Saudi Arabian Airline to sponsor Man United beyond 2023 on a 90 million shirt sponsor deal. And that's what was going to happen. But apparently talks have stalled. and we're going to come to what Logan just said here. Richard Arnold had held discussions with the Saudi Arabian Tourism Authority for a potential sponsor visit Saudi. No further action has been taken since the meeting, which took place prior to the World Cup, I think. And he says here, EPL World said that they have stopped negotiating with Man United regarding the sponsors with the club. The initial contact was supposed to be signed between the two parties this week. So I think that's collapsed. That's collapsed.
Is that because we're being sold to somebody that the Saudis are not particularly friendly with? So perhaps like Dubai or something.
Yeah, maybe.
The reason why the deal is stalled.
Well, no. That you're filling the gaps, though. That could be possibly, or it could be that maybe they didn't agree something on the money or whatever. They didn't agree on that. It could be that. It could be to do with money and how long the length was supposed to be or whatever in these negotiations. We already know that Richard Arnold is a failure. He went twice to Barcelona, tried to get Frankie de Jong. Both times came back empty-handed. So we already know what he is. And his boy Murta went to Barcelona twice and Turin twice. So these clowns just like going away for a little couple of day trip.
No, he's a clown, nerd. He's a clown. Nobody knows he's a clown.
Yeah. Anyway, big up Khalis Romadilasi and big up Logan as well. The news is that Everton want to sign Anthony Alanga on loan for the rest of the season. That's in January. Donny van der Beek, tough time at Man Utd, not stopped him from being vocal, showing his senior squad qualities. Van der Beek was eager to give younger members of the group instructions and lead from the front in defensive capacity in training today. So basically, just to give you guys, in terms of how Locatelli plays, I've done a bit of research in how Wolves play. Wolves are not going to be playing 5 at the back anymore, and that's what we usually struggle, really. Because the time when they came, in January, when they came to Old Trafford, they literally, they came with 5, and they kept the ball away from us and passed us to death. And then Moutinho scored that winner. That night I was there, I was absolutely going berserk. I was pulling my hair out. If I'm not mistaken, was I there? Was I ill? I don't know. But anyway, I think I might have been ill with the flu last January. Anyway, I'll say this and I say it simple, people. Locatelli, I can't say his name properly, right? He plays 4-3-3 system. He's going to play Neves, who's the captain, as the pivot, like as the sole sitting in front of the back 4. He then he's going to play properly Nunes and the other guy, what's his name? Dudes or whatever the guy's name. I can't say some of these guys' names. And then he'll play the 3 up front. Obviously, they've signed that Brazilian striker from Atletico Madrid, but he's not registered. He can't be registered to the 1st of January. So what they're going to be looking to do, people, is they're going to be looking to press us heavily. Wait till you see that in that first 5 minutes, Man United try to pass the ball in certain positions. They're coming out to press almost the front 6. So the 2 number 8s, right, and the 4 up front go and press hard. So, the 5. So the 3 up front, 5 players are going to look to really press us high up the pitch. And that's what they're going to try to do. While they're in
does that play into our hands, though? Because Rashford likes to get his space behind for Rashford.
Yeah, but it's about getting the ball out. It's about how Man United shift the ball quickly, get it out, and then hit Rashford on a one-on-one. Can we do that? Or are they going to stifle and really strangle us in that sense? To me, the biggest
We've
thing
got
is
the
Man
ability
United
to
don't get 3
bash
points. Listen, Man United
the shit out of this
points,
team.
right? Man United do not get 3 points unless we match the home team's intensity and aggression. When Man United matched other teams' intensity and aggression in the game from minute 1, we tend to do all right in the game. But if they don't do that, they're going to play 4-3-3 and quite high intense press. That's what he's known for. Look, that's what he's known for. But
can I make one observation, right? Let me make one observation, right? The difference is that when we have Martial, he's critical to Ten Hag's approach. Yeah.
Good point.
United retain the ball better when they got Martial.
Yeah.
So even if they put the press on us, Martial's very good at shielding the ball, and Eriksen's use of the ball and getting out of the press is very good as well. So Man United have evolved. We're not the same Man United that used to play
Exactly,
against Wolves.
exactly,
We were
exactly.
that
You made a
crap,
good point there. We're a
deep
different team
lying,
when Martial played.
counter-attacking bullshit football. Now we're better on the ball. We are a better team on the ball. Anthony's use of the ball is very well. His end product's not the best, but in terms of his ball retention and in tight spaces, he's good on the ball, right? So I expect us to be better on the ball against Wolves. I do. And the thing against Villa is we didn't have Martial. Who played up front? The flipping, what's it called? Botox, white teeth, 8-pack, Saudi sellout, right? Cristiano Ronaldo, right? And he was like a slug. Couldn't hold the ball and couldn't do jack.
Couldn't do
Now
anything.
we've got a guy in that position, number 9, who has got better ball retention, etc., etc. So I expect. So the difference between this game and the Villa game is obviously Villa got better quality than Wolves, and secondly, we got players in a number 9 that can hold the ball up. So again, that for me is a big difference.
Yeah,
We
100%.
have the potential to go tomorrow and whip Wolves' asses, and we have also this potential to completely underperform. Under is the key word here. That's the operative word. Underperform.
Well, by less so than normal, though. That underperforming is less so than it used to be. Let's be honest about that. I know it's there, but we haven't got rid of it yet.
It's true.
It's less so than it used to be.
But I'm only saying it because what? Let me get it in context. What Miyu and Mundo are saying is not that's it, guaranteed 3 points, end of, no way, we're gonna kill them. No, it's not overconfidence.
Yeah,
but
because we're
there
not
is
saying that's why.
as you
Stop the
improve.
backtracking now. Stop the
No,
backtracking.
no backtracking. But what you want is for me to have Earthman and Prot saying it's a done deal. Don't even watch it. Put your feet in cold water. Have a Coke, relax. It's already 3 points and 6-0. What we're saying is, no, everybody understands what Man United is. We've been doing this for 10 years. Man United could not turn up. But the expectation with what has been happening, credit to the manager, the players, is that, listen, boys, if you're serious about this, where we need to be, we need to go and win this game. I don't want to say much more than that. You know it. I know it. Go and do your job. If you turn up tomorrow and you stink the place out and it's shit, we have to have a post-mortem because that is just not what should be happening right now. If we're going against Wolves, tight, don't concede goals, low block, Man United can't retain ball, struggle against low block, get caught on counter, all right, fine. We're not going into that anymore. They concede every single game. And the last 3 or 4 games, I think they've conceded 10 goals, nearly 10 goals, some shit like that. And we're scoring some goals, ball retention is good, shape is good, players form coming back, 5th game in hand, 18th. You've got to be going and winning this game if you're serious. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed, 100%.
Didn't just Claire just say that Nunes is injured as well?
I'm going for 5-0 then.
Let's check. I'm sure she just wrote. I'm going to check it now.
Boys, if we get popped tomorrow, Structure's definitely wanting us on the show.
Listen, who's injured?
Nunes, the midfielder, Nunes. Nunes is.
From what I've seen, I've not heard anything. I've not seen that he's injured. That's just me. But anyway,
Sure.
Maguire says she gives her anxiety. Maguire plays. Martinez comes on as a sub. Listen, there's a question in there. Somebody wants to ask, who do you think is taking over Man United? I'll start with Irfan quickly. Come on, we're going to end the show here on the 30th.
Wow. Well, he's serious. It's a serious question.
That's
Easy question. I've got the answer for you straight away.
Who have you got the feeling that's buying Man United?
No one at the
I've got
moment.
the answer
I don't think these bastards want to sell. I just think they're playing games. That's how I feel at the moment. When people ask me this question, I don't believe any of it that they want to sell yet. I don't believe they want to get rid of it yet. I won't lie.
Okay,
that's my honest answer.
You're in my camp. Bumbaye.
Uncle Ronnie, mate.
Hang on. Let Mundo say it, and you can come in Mumbai. Go on. Who do you think?
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a consortium. I don't think it's going to be an outright owner. I think it'll be a consortium, and I think it'll be a mixture of Middle Eastern money and US money.
Wow, shit.
Yeah.
Your wheels on the mark.
Yeah, I think when Sky.
Hang on. Let Bombay go on, Mr. Bombay. Who do you think's going to buy United? And then you can go back in there and go on.
Mundo just told you the Saudi part of it is Ronnie. He's got the dough now. He's coming in, and then we'll get some American dudes that are dumb enough to buy into us, and done deal. There you go.
Okay. I don't believe the club is fully for sale. I have to see it to believe it. But if we're sold, the way the Sky report has been very conflicting, and that's why it's games for me. It's still like some sort of mess about game to hype up the crowd.
It is, yeah. Hype up the price.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to give you an example, right? So David Ornstein, this is the guy now. He's the new Fabrizio Romano, yeah? I don't know him personally, but I've seen him outside Old Trafford, yeah? David Ornstein. He's actually known better for Arsenal because he's an Arsenal fan, if I'm not wrong.
You mean the athletic guy, Ornstein?
Yeah.
Ornstein.
He basically, he came out and was like, Man United wanted Gakpo, but then Gakpo chose Liverpool, right? And obviously, United fans, I wasn't that bothered. Bumbaye will tell you, we did the show. I wasn't that bothered because he's playing on the left-hand side. That's his position. We've got so many players who can play that. And I personally think he would have stopped the growth of Garnacho. You know what I mean? If he was a central striker, 100% I would have been gutted. He then, a couple of days later, and then he had to make an apology because Neil Ashton rang him up most likely and said, David, what are you making it out? Man United fans are going absolutely crazy. What are you doing? He then quickly realized an hour later, he tweeted a tweet saying, oh, apologies. I didn't mean to say that Man United, Gakpo didn't want to go to Man United. I didn't mean to say that. And Chelsea. It's just that Liverpool came in and Liverpool paid the money and whatever, right? A couple of days later, he's on American television and he's there coming out saying, oh yeah, the sale is happening and it's a quick sale, the first quarter of the year. And all that is happening. And I'm like, how? And then all of a sudden, from United fans being absolutely angry about Gakpo, they then quickly jumped to what? Oh, the sale. And then obviously, Saeed, big up Saeed, on Saeed TV, Saeed had that Jacobs guy. I think he might be a Leicester fan. He was on there saying that it's not Middle Eastern money. It's not Middle Eastern money that's buying Man United. And that he said it's not. We don't know if it's going to be a full sale as well. That's what he was saying. So I've read so many conflicting reports. That's what I'm saying to you. And the question
just leave it, bro.
How Logan wanted to ask, what do you think about he's having a good season? And I said that I predicted it on here. I no disrespect to the Scottish League. I said Ahmad should have been sent on loan to the Championship. I said that. And people were giving me grief. And big up Stephen Kramer. I said it's one of the most competitive leagues in the world, the Championship, and you play every 3 days. It kind of makes the footballers like you have to be on it. You have to be on it with intensity and everything. So people are asking, guys, what do you think? Let's talk about Ahmad. What does the panel think about Ahmad?
Isn't Ahmad at Sunderland?
Yeah, he's playing really well. So this is asking you what you think about what
he's in the Championship, right, at Sunderland.
Yeah, he is. And he's doing
Ahmad Diallo is a very, very good player. I'm so excited.
Nerdy just said he's not playing in the Championship.
No, he is. That's what I just said. I said he should have gone on loan, but they sent him to Scotland, to Rangers, and he didn't do that.
Oh, well. Yeah. You mean he should have gone straight there? Yeah, okay.
He's scoring goals, he's setting up goals.
Championship
he's one of their best players.
Championship, man. I was reading an article about Ahmad Diallo, funny enough, and I posted it in our group actually. And if you look, he's a fan favorite already at Sunderland. He's got 5 goals, 1 assist. But they were talking about, considering this is a lone player who's only here short term, the work rate he puts in is commendable, and they love him for it.
Oh wow!
And some of the play that Ahmad is producing, man, in Championship football, I'm not joking. You got to understand, this guy cost us how old? 18, not played virtually no games. We're paying £36 million, £37 million for him. It's a lot of money. Big potential, this kid, and he's a natural left footer. So, do you know what? I want him back at United, because if Anthony, it's just Elanga, he needs somebody that is ready and hungry to push him for his spot as well. Don't care, 85 million, whatever, And I think Ahmad is a very talented player, and I would love for him to come back to us and, you know what, show us what he can do, because Championship, like you say, is a very good place to go and, you know, get molded, man. Get yourself stuck in properly. It's difficult. It's fast down there. It's aggressive. So lot of top players have gone there. You know, Harry Kane went there. I think Mason Mount was in there. A lot of these players go there. It's a very good experience, and hopefully it's done him well.
And then we should loan him. We should loan him to a Premier League club next season. That's what I think, to get him used to the Premier League, the step up, rather than having him on the bench behind Anthony.
Listen, I think me personally, he can come and challenge Anthony right now. I personally think that. I don't think Anthony is pulling up any trees. I know that he's getting used to it.
No, he's not.
He's getting used to that. He was the worst player on the pitch for Man United the other night. And he was lucky
it's worth seeing if Ahmad can come back and at least mount a charge for a place. And then we'll have the option to loan. Do you know what I mean?
I personally think he can, but that's just me. But big up Logan. This is really fascinating, by the way. Those of you guys who don't know Phil Malachi, he's this Irish guy. He's based in Miami, Florida. I think he works in finance and banking, but he's also a podcaster. He's a diehard United fan. On the side, he's a journalist. He does a podcast about United. And he actually 8 months ago started the rumors. No, he was part of it. There was a lot of rumors on Twitter. But 8 months ago, he is somebody that I actually take note of when he says some things, right? And apparently, according to Logan, Phil Malachi is saying keep an eye on Qatar in terms of Man United sale. So Mundo, you might be right what you were saying before in terms of like if the Qataris are coming in, then Qataris are not going to have Saudi sponsorship on the Man United shirt. So that's interesting.
Well, if you get the money off Mum, then.
Yeah, or even Dubai or anyone but the Saudi, anyone in that region, they're not going to have the Saudis on their shirt, are they? So, I think that I personally think the sale's happening. I just think that the Glazers they've used up every single credit card. They've gone way into their overdraft. They're looking down the back of their sofa for money to pay the cleaning lady and the canteen lady. That Ronaldo money that they've saved, where's that disappeared to on his salary? Where's that money gone? Probably to pay off some other outstanding debt they've got. The road is nearing an end for those leeches, absolutely. And I think now it's all about getting the maximum amount that they can squeeze out, the final rinsing of the club. Like now we're selling, we've already rinsed the club for the last bloody 17 years. How, the final act for the Glazers is when we sell, we want to make sure that we squeeze every last drop out of this club. But you know what? Give them the money and tell them to F off.
Yeah,
whatever it takes to get rid of them, whatever it takes. It's not our money. It's the new owners. As long as, but the worry is that because they're only selling, because the owners of the clubs are custodians. They don't own the club. They're just custodians. And these guys, they don't give a damn. They would sell. If Saddam Hussein was around, they'd sell it to him, Gaddafi, and what's he called? Vladimir Putin consortium came in to buy Man United. These guys would sell it to them. They wouldn't even think twice.
Well,
so
at the moment,
don't think that they're going to sell it to some like owners that are going to come in and they're going to have our best interest at heart. They can't be trusted. They're just going to go for the biggest buck, right?
Yeah. Listen, solidarity with the people in Ukraine who are getting bombed, who are being used by the West to agitate with Russia. This proxy war. I feel bad for them because over Christmas and the New Year, people are dying, people are getting bombed. So solidarity and love with anybody who's suffering, and also the Yemeni and what's happened to the Yemeni people. Big up Sami Yasser. Why doesn't United buy Ivan Toney? He's on fire. Even if Toney was banned, he's worth. But listen, Man United don't have the money to get anybody. And if no way are Brentford selling Ivan Toney, he is vital to them staying in the Premier League this season. It's exactly the same as Mitrovic from Fulham. Those two players are not on for sale. The only money they're taking is over £100 million. And I am not, if Man United bought, I'm not going self-exile. I'm not going to Old Trafford ever again. If they bought Ivan Tony for 100 million or bought Mitrovic for 100 million. No,
Oh, you bought Maguire for 80 million, man.
And you know what, Bumbaye? I was telling you 6 months before that Maguire was not the guy before. 6 months before they bought
You
him.
shouldn't set foot in the stadium after that.
No, I didn't make that pledge. I said it's good. I told people we're gonna regret it, and I was proven 100% right. Very disappointed. 2023, no fireworks being shown on BBC One. What's happening, Vincent? Why is that?
There's no money.
Nah, there'll be people out there. Ahmad needs to go on loan next season in the Premier League team. So Windy agrees with Mundo. I was 19. It was 19 with add-ons. I don't think the add-ons are the objectives. All right, so that might be to do with Ahmad. I have given up on loan players who's doing great. They never get a chance anyway. A couple of players that come in to mind is Lingard, Henderson, Garner. Yeah.
No, Lingard was given plenty of chances. He just wasn't good enough. That's not fair. He was good enough for the old Man United. He's not good enough for the new Man United.
Mm-hmm. Listen, so also ask the stadium. There's a photo going around on social media. I don't know if any of you guys saw it. The photo is a massive leak, and it's just above the scoreboard and the Stretford end. Massive leak. The stadium's falling apart. Quickly, I'm going to ask you guys quickly, and I'll go to Mundo. Mundo, a new 100-seater stadium, or do you want to refurb Old Trafford?
Sentimentality is telling me Old Trafford, but we have to be. You can't. We need a state-of-the-art stadium, but I would want it to be in. If they could find a different ground, knock down Old Trafford and put a new stadium there, that would be the perfect thing. But it might mean sharing with the noisy neighbours.
No, it won't be. No. Man United will play they will patch up. If the new owners were thinking right, they would patch up what the leaks and that, and then build the stadium, in the mills behind Old Trafford. That behind. If you're in front of Hotel Football and you're looking ahead onto the road, Man United own all of that land behind it. So build a new stadium.
So they develop on a different piece of land.
Yeah.
Mundo, you've seen how much land is around Old Trafford. It's Trafford Park. It's one of the biggest industrial estates in the world where United is. There's so much land there. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And all those some of the land behind Old Trafford on the other side, United own it. I've been to in 2019. I went to watch Bilbao. Bilbao literally did exactly that. They built a new stadium just across the road from the old stadium. And honestly, when you go into like state-of-the-art stadiums, the amount of leg room at the moment, when goals are going in or there's a chance, I don't stand up. It's like I'm crippled. I'm trapped. My long legs are trapped in there.
Yeah.
I'm caged. It's like I'm locked up in the legs. That's how it is.
It's like a 90s stadium. It's like when we used to go. Well, I don't know if I should say this on a United thing. But
you should say it now. Mundo, I told them we used to sneak in.
Yeah, we used to sneak in. We used to sneak in at Old Trafford, but we also used to go to Main Road, right? Remember, we used to go to Main Road, and I'm being honest with you, like the stadium, the stands, the seat, it's everything. It's not that much better than Main Road was back in the 90s.
Way better. Main Road was better than you have to admit. Even I went Main Road, and Main Road, I was impressed by Main Road going there. It's like shit. Wow, it's actually a pretty good stadium. I was shocked to tell you the truth.
In terms of the leg room, in terms of a leg room, yes. Old Trafford was always small. It's like for 6'4" person like me, no chance. Mundo will tell you, me, Mundo, and Bumbaye people, we're letting you know now. When we were 11, 12, 13 years old, we never used to pay him up to get into Man United. We either doubled up. They used to have old-style turnstiles. We used to either double up in there, get in with somebody, or we used to jump over the turnstiles, hang around, go in the toilet, 5 minutes, let the game kick off. 5 minutes after the kick-off, we used to run in, find a seat. And at times, the stewards will find us, grab us by the ear, take us out, and they're like, try again later. We used to do it again. So that's how it was, people. That's how it was. That just tells you, that's a bit of insight, story time for you there. But listen, we've been on for an hour and 40 minutes almost. I just want to get this last super chat. Big up to all of you. And I want to wish every one of you Therapy Army. Wish you Happy New Year wherever you are in the world. But anyway, why did the government make Roman sell Chelsea?
You know what?
From Yemen and be happy by Newcastle. Because
Zayn Miasi just went up in my estimations.
Yeah.
No, he's still an Arsenal fan. Sorry. You know what they say. You know what they say.
Seriously,
You say a clock's always right twice a day. The clock's always right twice a day. Yeah. So Zayn
Ding dong,
Yeah.
Zayn. This is the second ding dong today. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But boys, on a serious note, man, the hypocrisy is suffocating. You know, it really is.
Wait a second. Read that out again. Just read it out. Read that out again.
Why did the government make Roman sell Chelsea? They let behead people by Newcastle. Well, saying to answer that question is simple. Who do you think set up the kingdoms in the Middle East? Who do you think set up the kingdom in Saudi? Who do you think told these nomadic people at that time? Told them, hey guys, we'll call you the kings. The royal family of Britain and the royal family, this fake royal family, all the royal families are fake.
Al Saud, House of Al Saud.
Yeah, the House of Al Saud. They're like that, mate. Like that. They're like that. So, to me, that's the reason why. That just to put it simply, and also, the West, in terms of America, America mainly, do not want Europe to be beholden to Russian oil and gas. They don't want Europe to be dependent on Russian gas and oil, which means America, as a failing empire, is lashing out in anger against everybody because it knows it's not going to be the superpower anymore in terms of what's happening economically around the world. And that's one of the reasons. And now Britain are going to be getting gas and oil, but mainly gas from the US.
Wait a second. Let's just repeat that one more time. So America does not like the fact that Europe is beholden to Russia's massive oil and gas reserves. Like Germany, for example, 90% of its resources it gets from Russia. America's always hated this. So this proxy war that's happening in Ukraine is all about making sure that Russia does not control the supplies to Europe of this cheap gas. Now, what's happened since? These idiots are now paying 3 times the price of American oil and gas than they were. And it's Germany, for example, their economy is being destroyed day by day. Europe just bent over. America said, take this one, triple the price. You're not getting your cheap Russian gas anymore. And this is what this whole thing is all about. But you'll never hear that on BBC, Channel 4, ITV. You'll never hear that. And you'll never hear on any football channel anyway. Okay? So I'm glad that Zayn made that point. But I hope our smart cookies understand how it works. No matter how horrible it sounds to you, that is the fact. This is a truth.
It's all about money, people. And also it's about the industrial military complex. America needs to go to war, constant war for them to make money. It's a $1 trillion industry.
Nuruddin, my friends say to me, you live in Europe, my friends say to me, they can't believe that no one is going to stand up to America while their countries are being obliterated, their economy. Germany is in such a bad way at the moment because it can't afford these prices it's paid. They paid triple what they used to pay. The economy can't, factories are closing. In Germany, one of the most prudent societies in Europe, they're in a bad way. None of them can stand up to America. And that's what it's all about. No one will stand up to America.
Exactly. Pick up everybody.
And just to put a quick disclaimer out there, I came on here to talk about football. So if anyone's monitoring this Google or whatever, any government.
Oh, come on, man. We have to stand out from the different football.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Mundo does not want to get a visit from MI6. I've had a couple of visits from MI6. Mundo does not want to get that from MI6. So disclaimer followed. These views and Airfan's views are our own views. They're nothing to do with the channel, people. Just let you know.
My views.
You should hear Mundo offline, man. He's shocking.
We have to be honest. We have to tell the people there's stuff they're never going to hear. Yeah.
No. We need more nuclear power stations, not rely on any other country. We should be energy independent. Well, nuclear power actually is quite dangerous. We need more offshore wind. We need to get more harness.
We need a green energy revolution. We need it like yesterday.
And more offshore, in the sea, and all these countryside we've got, just smash a wind on there. You could keep the whole country lit, mate, just from the wind. How windy? We're on an island. But
Nuruddin, you know, and I know the Tory party is full of dirty money from people who are fossil fuel dirty money.
Before they shut the channel down, I don't subscribe to that yet.
Yeah.
The Tories are
full.
lovely.
It's full of it. That's why you ain't
Keep
getting
that
it.
up. The Tories are lovely. No, they're not. But anyway, guys, we've spoken for an hour and 45 minutes. It's been a bit of a Christmas special for you guys. Big up to everybody. We paid tribute to the legend that is Pele.
No, we'll try and make it a proper one with Franco. We'll try and finish it off.
Yeah. We'll do an hour with Franco. Yeah.
And United victory tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be back
That's
here.
what we like.
Listen, tomorrow, guys, if you're available at 8:30, I'm gonna do the match reaction. If you're around,
No partying tomorrow, no parties, nothing. No.
Where's there to go, Irfan?
I don't know. Is it? It's in New Year's Eve tomorrow.
Answering, Irfan, I've got a bone to pick. Why are you not answering people back in the group chat? People are asking, I'm saying about community New Year party. Why don't you say?
I didn't reply. I thought I replied.
You're not replying to people. People thinking that there's a New Year party. Listen, at the end of the day, well, we always used to go to New Year's Day parties anyway. Me, Bombay.
It's on a Sunday this year. I'm worried about people being broke, having to deal with all this stuff. Then you got to pay double, triple fare for taxis on Sunday. That's why I thought, hang on, let's give people a break this year. You know, I was ready, but I'm feeling for the people. I don't think every people are that rich to go out on the New Year's Day.
Listen, me, Mundo, and Bombay, we used to go to New Year's Day raves back in the day.
And New Year's Eve, both days. A lot of people haven't parties on New Year's Day.
Go out on New Year's Eve. We never used to go out that much on New Year. We used to go to. We used to find the best raves were on New Year's Day. You know why? Everybody who missed out on New Year's Eve, the party used to be harder. The DJs used to go for it. Everybody they will go crazy because
it's still happening now. It's still happening on New Year's Day.
New Year's Eve is one of the most pressured, expectational things.
Oh shit! Rubbish, crap.
Disappointment ever. I can't remember an amazing New Year's Eve party that we went to. I don't remember.
New Year's Eve hasn't been good for 20 years at least. It's been completely. But I remember when people used to charge £100 for a New Year's Eve party. £100. That's how out of control it got. So we sacked it all off, and it's very anticlimactic.
20 years because you two, and I put myself in this. We're old.
Yeah,
so it's not good to us, but it's still good to young people, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I don't want to be a party people. Yeah.
No, it's not about being party people, but actually, it's a lot of expectations. Even when I was young, remember, I used to be a doorman. I used to work. I used to get double pay on that night. Double pay.
Yeah.
I used to work till 5 o'clock in the morning, getting double pay.
We all get double, triple pay, but it's just a bad vibe. Honestly, it's not good.
I used to start work at 5 and finish at 5, 12 hours. I used to do and get double pay. So I used to we used to go to Leeds. Remember, we used to go to Leeds. We used to go to Sheffield, New Year's Day parties. We used to go to London sometimes on a New Year's Day party. We used to go where the biggest raves were. I remember we went to.
Well, I'm going to a 90s hip hop party tomorrow.
Oh, so you're going to one? So he's going to one. He's going to a party. See what I mean? You're going to one.
A 90s hip hop.
90s one. That's your favorite, Nerdin.
Is it local one? Is it local?
No, it's in Central.
Are you driving there?
No. Get the tube.
It's in London, isn't it? In London.
The tube. Okay, the tubes. Did the tubes run all night?
The tubes run all night. We have public transport down here. It's not like Manchester where you have the bus stop running at 5 o'clock and all the rest of it.
Okay. All right. Shade. Mundo's throwing shade at his own city. Hey, traitor.
No, I didn't.
No, Manchester's good for takeaways and for sticking it up the Tories, but for transport. Downhill, mate.
Yeah, but you live in the infrastructure of England. You live in the part of the country that's had all the money since day one. That's it. We're all playing second fiddle.
To end the podcast, it's nearly 2 hours. I just want to say this quickly. Big up Mundo, Martin Mundo. You can follow him at Martin Mundo on Twitter. Bombay, you don't have social media. They don't even know what social media is. He's still stuck in the 1970s with Muhammad Ali and them. Big up Muhammad Ali, by the way. I found out there was a famous quote by Muhammad Ali, Pele. Muhammad Ali said to Pele, he said to him, "Football is more beautiful than boxing, but remember, I'm still prettier than you." That was Muhammad Ali to Pele. Muhammad Ali to Pele. That's we'll finish on that note. But you can find Irfan Rainey on Twitter.
On my Twitter, wait, that conversation we just had about Russia, Ukraine, America. Just go to my Twitter. And it's a plethora of all that type of information. No conspiracy bullshit, honest, truthful stuff that will wake you up to what's actually happening in the world. Now, if you don't want that, stay away from my Twitter feed, okay?
Listen, Alicia Sinkanova, we don't call him Cassius Clay. It's Muhammad Ali to everybody. And then, you can follow Irfan and all the music on Instagram as well. But I want to big up all the regulars, Lucky Singh, Alicia, Claire, Khalees, Logan, everybody, man. Everyone.
Natalie, let's have a look.
Everyone in the Scottish establishment. Big up Farnod. Big up everybody, honestly.
Bloody establishment, God Junior, Wendy Grant, of course, big Marvis Cocker as well.
Every one of you, honestly, Aaron Pandy
as well. Yep.
Honestly, Windy Grant, Natalie,
Jarvis.
big up to Saint Miassi as well.
Zane as well, Zane.
Yeah. And big up Eve's match day moments. Big
AK.
up Stadium,
Beef
big
Bully as well. All of them.
Big up to Vincent. Vincent's devastated. Vincent, the BBC will have Jules Holland, though. It's always a decent night, Jules Holland. New Year's Eve. So they might not have it, but they've got Jules Holland. Big up. Before Irfan says anything, I can see Irfan wanted to say something. I'm going to cut it. But good night, people. Happy New Year, and we'll be back tomorrow.
No, we say Happy New Year when it's New Year, not before, man. Come on.
How many hours are we away from New Year? We're not that long away from New Year. We're not how long?
Less than 24 hours now.
Yeah, but
23 hours.
Why say Happy New Year when it's not Happy New Year? It's not New Year yet.
It's Happy New Year from now, man. You know, you go Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You say that from the 1st of December.
I don't know. I only say when it's New Year.
Let's hope Man United don't ruin the start of our year.
Yeah, let's hope.
That's what I'm worried about. But I'm telling you now, guys, 8:30, I'm having you back on. If United get smashed, you're coming back on. If Man United smash Wolves, I'm happy to eat my words.
If United gets smashed, we're going to 90s R&B in London. If United get beat, that's where we're going, right?
We need to go to a party. We need to find a party tomorrow. But anyway.
You should have had one in your house.